What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Hustlers. I'm your host, Loss. We got Joey D on today. Roll that intro, baby.
I'm about to blow. I gotta stay on my hustle, you know that I'm grinding for sure. I came up right from the bottom, now they see me chasing my goals. Now they see me on the go, yeah. Now they see me on the road. It's time to hustle, yeah, it's time to grow. I'ma shoot for the stars and we aim for the gold. It's time to hustle, yeah, it's time to grow.
How are you?
Oh, good. Tired and been a bit full on lately, but
tired?
yeah. But I feel old, man. Just been growing my hair out.
Full on.
Yeah. Just been trying to do a bunch of different shit, and so it's
You're
hard
doing
to,
so much shit at the moment.
It's hard. I've never been good with balance.
Yeah.
So that's been hard to do at the moment, but I've been good, bro. Like I'm definitely it's been stressed and full on, but like I'm feeling good.
What's your most recent project, bro? What are you on at the moment?
Fuck. So I just signed this lease for this office in the city.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So it's been hard, like juggling, moving everything into there because I've got like employees and stuff, and we start production on a TV show that I'm doing like literally next weekend, and so I've obviously got to make sure everything's moved in by then. So
but this is West Park, eh?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
You start there?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I started that probably like three years ago, and it was always going to be kind of a place where like I just used to build like any projects that I wanted to do out of. And then like got the first TV show and a few other things going under it, so it's been full on, like, because the space is massive, and so just filling it out has been fucking expensive.
Where is that?
Commerce Street, which is right in the middle of the city.
Oh, in the city.
Bro, so I've been like painting and like building shelves and shit. Bro, I look like the dude from Home Improvement. Just like, but yeah, it's been a tough balance, but it's been good, eh? Yeah.
So you live out south, so you've been commuting in, bro?
Yeah. My missus like lives on the same street, or pretty much like a couple streets over. So
chill it with her.
Yeah. So I just say I'm gonna stay at hers and then just stay at the office the whole time.
Bro, we make a quick shout out to our sponsor, but I'll let you do it this time, bro.
Yeah. So shout out to Bout Fitness, and if you want a 6-pack abs, I've only got 4 at the moment, so I'm trying to get the lower 2. But yeah, shout out to them. You can skip the joining fee. Carlos told me to say a whole bunch of shit, and I've actually forgotten all of it. I'm doing that shout out for free, so like I said the name, that should be enough. But yeah, shout out to you guys. Love your work. Even though I've actually never seen it clearly, but I've clearly never seen anything you're doing because of what I'm rocking right now. But always down to support. So
Caden the style, creating the main thing.
Love you guys.
Free, no joining fee, first week free. Try it out, bro. And I'm going to have to take you in when you come down, bro.
First week free. I'm going to do the thing where you go in for 1 week and then say you're not feeling it, and then I'll go shave and then come in another week. That's what I do with free trials and other things.
Gee, tell me about your journey, bro. Like from, just go back to the start, like. Because you've gone through a fair bit to get to where you are today, and I know that people might say like, oh, he's come onto the scene hard and like shit's going real well for him, but like I know personally, I've known you for a few years, like that's not just come about, bro. Like you've fucking put some money in for this. Yeah,
appreciate it. But it's been a long time. I think like for even just my comedy journey, it's been quite a few years, like 4, probably getting close to 5 years now. But when it comes to like social media and running businesses and stuff, I've been doing that for 10 years. So I started like my first company was a clothing brand. Started when I was 15, and it was so mud.
What's it called? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was called Interhype. I have no idea. Like back then, my favorite website was like this website called Hypebeast.
Oh yeah.
Which is still pretty. Is it still popular these days? Not really.
I know about it. Like, I know and I've heard of it. So you must.
So that was my favorite website back then, and so I think that's where I got the name from. But bro, it was like I made all the wrong choices. Like I went to and got suppliers in Thailand, and like with them you have to order like 1,000 of them.
Did you do that?
And I did that.
Oh,
and so I think I sold 3 shirts, bro.
And
we had this room at my parents' house, and the shirts just sat in there for like honestly 3 years, not sold anything because what I think I hopped on a bunch of trends, bro, that were like they were going hard at the time, but then the shirts got delayed by like 3-4 months because there was a flood or some shit in Thailand. So all the shirts, one of them was like, it had like something about Dougieing on it.
About what?
Like Dougieing? You know,
Oh, fuck.
you need me to show you?
No.
Bro, so like, and this was like, I learned this business lesson at 15 was like, don't like build your business off of trends, because basically I got these shirts, mate, that had like Dougieing and shit on it.
And it had changed.
And then by the time the shirts came, bro, like no one gave a fuck about Dougieing.
Yeah,
everyone was jerking now.
Jerking.
Yeah, everyone was doing pin drops. Everyone was doing pin drops and skinny. It does sound stinky.
Everyone was jerking now.
But I remember at the time it was unreal. You would have been super young, because even I was young. Yeah, because what, you're like 3 years younger than me?
22.
4 years?
So what do you?
Yeah, 4 years younger than me. 26.
Right.
So yeah, you would have been like fucking 10.
Jerking,
But yeah, bro. So that was my very first business. Yeah, got 1,000 shirts from Thailand, sold 3. But still made it to Bangkok in the end. So, and then I went to Thailand. But yeah, bro. So I've been doing that. Ran a clothing business at 15, which flopped, and then I started. I taught myself coding in year 13, year 12, year 13.
Oh, true.
Yeah, taught myself how to code, and then I just made like this. Started off as like a fashion blog, so I like coded this whole website like HTML, CSS, and it just started like blogging about fashion, and then turned that into like a fashion marketing business.
What the hell?
Yeah, when I was like 18, and then
Where'd you get these ideas from?
but I don't know, but I can see Pat and Monty. Just all the bosses. Just all the bosses. but yeah, bro. Just started doing that at 18. Did that till about 20. So I've always just kind of bounced around and tried different shit, and I'm always down to try anything and do anything. So anything, and yeah, bro. That's just kind of been me for the last, for my whole life really.
When did you start doing like comedy and that, like stand-ups?
Started comedy, so did my first stand-up gig in 2017. Can you see I'm not trying to fold my arms, but like get it under this? So I did my first stand-up gig in 2017 when I was like 21. Yeah, I was like 21. And
Whereabouts? Wellies?
nah, up here.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was living up here.
Oh, right. Yeah,
And I was kind of like, I was at a stage in my life, and I know you went through a very similar one, where you're just kind of like, is where I am really where I want to be? Because I know you would have gone through the same thing with Ruggers.
For sure.
And you just kind of have to really look at yourself and think like, okay, this may be what me now wants, but does me in 5 years' time want this? Does me in 10 years' time want this? Like, fuck no. Because I was working corporate and property development. Bro, so like rocking up wearing suits and shit. Can you imagine me doing that?
What the fuck,
Bro, I like don't even wear, I wear shorts with holes in them now.
Wait, what?
Even though I'm
in
rich.
property development?
Yeah, bro, working in property and study.
So what was your like role? Like, what did you do?
So I was an assistant project manager. So like you're working pretty much between like all departments. So like you're talking to construction workers and talking to designers, talking to salespeople. And I was just like, it sounds mean, but I was doing like stink ass jobs, like just invoicing and shit, and like filing. Yeah. But project management was where I was trying to work to, because I eventually wanted to become a property developer. Yeah, and I know I still will eventually, but I want to developing. But I want to do that when I'm like 60, bro. Like I was 21 doing that shit, and I was like, no, this isn't me now. So I just went and basically soul searched and tried to figure out what it is I actually enjoy doing. And I always like enjoyed talking shit. I always enjoyed doing my mates' 21st speeches. Yeah. And I always enjoyed just like getting up and just talking shit. And I was like, all right, where do you do that? Stand up. I'll give that a go. And then I literally started just like that. And because I'm the type of dude that we can talk about something once and I'll like actually go do it. Yeah.
I remember you did the twins.
The twins' birthday, eh? Yeah. Because that was the first time we met.
Yeah, I think
that was like, what year was that? 2018 maybe.
Yeah, well, that was their 21st.
Yeah, the boys were born 97.
They what? Yeah.
2018, yeah.
2018, yeah.
Because you were living in Wellies then, eh?
Yeah.
Damn.
I remember we had training the next day and Chase turned up. Do you remember?
Yeah, and all you guys were horsed, eh?
No, not all of us.
No, you were all good.
One of the boys was, and he got ripped, bro. And
Because he was hoarse, there's it there.
Yeah, and he was trying to start that hooker in the middle of the speeches, right?
In the middle of the yeah. So my cousins who lost his good mates with anyone listening had their 21st, and their dad Tony was doing a speech, and we won't say Chase's full name.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm sure you can put two and two together. Chase that plays rugby just started doing a haka in the middle of the speech, and it was so cracking. But no, he wasn't drunk or anything, and it definitely hadn't. Definitely. Anyways, I'm sure. I'm sure it's just pure emotion, pure like tikanga Māori just took over him, and he just felt the need in that moment.
Where do you usually find your like inspo from, bro, for your comedy?
That's a hard one. It's like, because I do a bunch of like different creative shit. Because like,
it's pretty hard coming up with fucking ideas.
Actually, you tell me yours. Like, where does your inspo come from?
For clothes or like in general?
Yeah. Well, because you do a bunch of creative stuff. Like, where do you usually draw yours from?
For clothes, I just follow a bunch of shit that I like, bro. It just stems from that, I think. Or if I'm walking through a shop and I see something that I really like, bro, I just kind of put my own twist on it.
Yeah.
Jerry Lorenzo, bro, follow heaps of him. I don't know if he started Fear of God.
That's Fear of God, eh?
In Essentials. Yeah. He's a wizard, bro, when it comes to design.
He's the man.
In terms of like, in general, bro, I don't know. Yeah, it's just kind of your surroundings, I guess. Yeah. Just makes what you are. Yeah,
no different to me, bro. Like just anything. Just like we'll draw like pretty much what I just do is I just like find ideas and then just figure out like where that'll kind of work. If that works in comedy, if that works in business, if it works in kind of anything. The problem is like my mind's always ticking, and so like, and my missus like really, really hates it because like she'll be talking to me and she'll finish talking and she'll be like, "Were you listening to any of that?" And I'm like, "Fuck, I'm so sorry. I honestly just did not know what you were just talking about just then." Or she's been hitting me with what did I just say? And I'm like, you just said.
Oh, bro, feels.
You just asked me what you just said. What do you mean? But yeah, bro. It's like it's a catch-22 because I could draw a lot from it and like get a lot of ideas and shit, but because it never switches off, it's impossible to like stop. But
how do you like go like? How would you spit something for like an hour? Or, like I just don't get it, and especially, do you go into it with like what you want to say, and then because like how do you fucking remember all that?
Relatively, but I just kind of treat with comedy, and it's why like if you look at comedy as an art form, like I'm actually not that good at it. Like I'm really not, but because when it comes to like actual stand-up comedy, like doing it properly, I'm not that great at it, but. Because the way I do my comedy is just the feeling that I'm trying to get with my comedy is like, you know how when you're with your boys and it's just like non-stop laughs.
Yeah.
It's more crack up than any TV show you could ever watch.
100%.
Any comedian you could go see.
Yeah.
Like that's the same with me. Like same with my mates, same with my cousins, and so the energy from that is what I'm trying to bring to stage.
Yeah,
so make it
nice.
Conversational, like bouncing off.
Because you use your audience heaps, eh?
Yeah, I just try and like make it an experience, and I got a lot of criticism when I was starting out, and like nobody knew who I was. That like that's not real stand up. Like it's stand up is crafting your jokes and standing in front of people and performing it. Whereas I was just like, nah, fuck you.
Yeah, hard. What's real stand up?
Nah, bro, hard. My thing was like, well, if I'm on stage and they're laughing, that's stand up comedy.
Hard out.
Like so, yeah. I just try. It's with anything, bro. I just try keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah.
Like not overthink it, because I think a lot of people sort of put too much value in knowing so much of something.
Yeah.
They think because they know it, like that's really good for them, and it's like, nah, you don't necessarily have to understand something completely to benefit from it. So just get what you know and just get started, because so many people like wait till they know something before they actually start it. Like you'll ask them about an idea that they have, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm just waiting for this. I'm just waiting for that.
Waiting for the right moment."
Yeah. My thing
comes.
is, but it never comes. Yeah, never comes. So
I agree.
just go fucking do it.
Yeah, bro. Procrastinating. That's just like the that's probably the biggest thing of why people don't end up starting what they want to start. They're like, oh fuck, but I just need to know this first or know this first before I actually dive into it. But bro, whatever you did, it's obviously worked for you, and you sold out. You're the first person to sell out. What place was it?
Yeah, Sky City Theatre just in town. So it's like $750.
Congrats, man. That's fucking crazy. Man.
Yeah, that was like a year ago now. So yeah, that was like that was pretty crazy. It was like 1,500 people over a weekend, and had like people lining up. It was all stuff that I'd like dreamed about for a long time.
Yeah.
So that was super crazy. But
is that where your momentum started?
Bro, randomly, like, I started to kind of build up before we went into lockdown. Like, it started to hit a little, because I remember before lockdown had been a year.
Oh, that's right.
A year since I started like posting regularly.
Yeah.
And then I remember it took me that whole time to get from like less than 1,000 to like 10K. It took me that long. And then I got into 10K literally like a few days before we went into lockdown, and then we went into lockdown, and then it was like to 30 or something.
Fuck, I remember that now. I remember like all your shit was going everywhere.
Yeah.
All your little skits and shit.
It was crazy. It was crazy. Like I did have the intention of like creating content every day and like building up my audience every day. But then when it came to like how it was done, I was just like, I'll just do it, whatever. So I was just making whatever I felt like. Yeah. And I was just lucky that it just kept connecting.
The FaceTimes with
it was
what the fuck?
Right. I was just super lucky that just everybody was literally at home doing nothing, bro, and like. And because I'm low key like ADD, like I always need something to do. So because I like needed something to do and was constantly like making shit, yeah, it was just super lucky. It was just right time, perfect timing.
It was the timing was right for anyone that is in that space or anyone that's trying to create a business. It was like you're going into lockdown, and a lot of people were thinking like, "Fuck, we're fucked." Like, but then you had people like you and. You know, other people who, I know I went real hard on the socials during that time because you just think, fuck, everyone's going to be on their phones for the next, like...
Because when did you start podcasting?
Before that.
Yeah. Because I remember you were doing, like, Zoom podcasts over lockdown.
I was pumping them out, bro. And then I went real stagnant, like, I think maybe the back end of last year or start of this year. I think I went real, like... stagnant, and they kept like sort of filtering out every now and again. Yeah, that's why I like restarted, bro. I was like, fuck, I need to rebrand it. Restart again and give myself a proper opportunity at it.
It's hard to keep up with, like, especially social media content, because like you can have the momentum, but like that doesn't necessarily come with anything, and like it doesn't necessarily mean you get like any more resources than you had before. So you could like be pumping out something for ages, and then like all those people and audience comes through and expectations come through, but then like the amount you have to work with is still the same. So you have more people demanding more shit of you. But you're still dealing with the same like. You still have the same amount of shit you had before, so it's like it's a catch-22. Because but I think like a lot of places, including this place, are like figuring out how to resource like those.
Oh, bro.
Like resource those people.
And you put yourself in the right situations almost for it, like
hard.
Like blessed to be able to now use this space as for my podcasting thing, because it's helped me kind of level up this area.
It looks flashy. You can see it on the screen. Looks this thing.
Bro, and like those all over there, like mosaic, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They're killing it, eh?
Yeah. So proud of those guys. Like it just keeps going up.
You made an appearance on that yet?
They keep telling me to come down, but like, bro, you know better than anyone. I'm fucking useless at managing my time. So I keep telling them, yeah, I'll come down, and then I'll just forget, like I'm not even in Auckland. Bro, I know I'll get on there eventually, and it'll be in a way they don't want. So. It'll be the one day they're like, nah, we've got someone else, and I'll just rock in. But yeah, Mosaic are doing so well. Yeah, well, just being able to like, you know, push your case to a point where like you can make a connection. I made a connection with Pat, and now I'm able to use the space because of that, and like that came from trying to
just push my case on with the resources he had. And that's just, I reckon, how the world works, eh? Like, you work hard enough, like, shit does come. Like, you just got to stick at it.
Bro, we all find each other eventually. Like, you know, especially we're all in a space where, like, at least publicly and openly, there isn't like as many of us to be seen as you would like there to be, but there is heaps of us around. We just don't really have, and that's like young brown like creatives, entrepreneurs. Yeah. And so I think the beauty of it is like New Zealand's so small, we all find each other eventually. But it is a fucking like absolute like task, journey to get there, yeah. Because like I know your story's crazy getting here. Like my story's out the gate getting here. Yeah. I know those guys, Mosaic, their story's crazy to get here. I think like the next thing for me is being able to turn around and make that journey not necessarily easier, because like in the hardships was where I developed like a lot of what I know, but at least making it clearer for people, you know, to make their own way through. Because there still is times, bro, like after everything I've done, there's times like right now where I'm just like fuck knows what I'm doing, and who knows where the next thing is going to come from. But
that's the life of like, that's this life,
hard out. Like, the thing I keep thinking about is I still have those struggles now, and I have the privilege of being able to like support myself, and then the people I know and like the opportunities I know I have access to. So I can't, like, I can still clearly remember feeling the way I feel, but having none of that. And so helping people figure out how to get to that is like the next thing.
Give us like a little insight on like your, like at the start, bro, like where, you know, you trying to get into trying to make it, and you know, maybe even getting rejected or
bro,
that sort of stuff.
I mean, I'm getting, it's funny, like this period that I'm in now is very similar to where I used to be, because basically like in trying to build West Park, there's a lot of challenges in that. Like using myself as a case study was always what I was going to do, because I was going to go to the companies and be like, hey, I was able to build this up myself. I can do this for you guys. But it's not really connecting, because for them, they can't really see how that can translate for them in particular. So it's a lot of like reaching out to people and having meetings and getting turned away. But I was literally at a meeting the other day, and I was like pitching to these people about like what West Park would do for them. And in the middle of, like right in the middle, I was talking, and the lady was like, yeah, I think I've heard enough. But
actually,
yeah, bro. So like you still get like the rejections never stop. And so like I'm right in the middle of it at the moment, which is all sweet, it's all part of it. Yeah. But that's kind of what it's been like since day one. Like when I started, when I was doing my like fashion blog sort of, you know, marketing company thing. But I was like 18, like reaching out to brands, reaching out to stores. Yeah. Just emailing people, trying to set up meetings and meet with people, and you know, I'd go meet people. And I remember one time I met up with this. We did this thing with this restaurant, and I'd been talking to them over email and stuff. And then when we met up with them, they were like real. I never like to think this of people, but I could tell that they were weirded out that I was like this young brown dude, because I think they just thought they were talking to like someone like a lot older, and my voice on the phone, obviously, like I sound white. Yeah. So I think they were a little bit shocked like that. And so I used to get shit like that all the time, bro. Like when I was younger. Yeah. And partly like still do. And so yeah, it was hard like being super young, and you know already your self-confidence isn't really there yet. Yeah. You don't have the self-esteem and belief in yourself, because you haven't really gotten through a lot of trials and tribulations yet to prove to yourself that you can do it. Yeah, right, yeah. And so, and being that young and trying to do it, it's just like getting knocked back, and you're constantly thinking like, fuck, am I even like, this shit that I'm trying to do, am I even capable of doing it? So that was super tough. But then, and being able to get through that, that's obviously what's led me to like 100%. Where I am, which is a cliche for people probably hearing shit like that, but it's so true. Yeah, it's so true. So yeah, that was a super hard one, but the best thing it was for me was like putting myself out there was already like hard in itself, and I was able to do that. And then putting myself out there and getting rejected was hard for myself. So any other form of that, whether it was like in personal life with like my friends, you know, with girls, with any of that sort of like shit, it became real trivial to me. So I didn't really like care I stopped kind of caring what people thought. Because I was like doing it, I was putting myself out in bigger ways and getting rejected. So of course in smaller ways, like I'm not going to care anymore.
The judgment thing's massive, eh?
Yeah.
I think I've talked about almost to every guest about that judgment thing.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
like the fear of being judged and shit.
Yeah.
Like, just probably stops a lot of people from doing shit as well. Like, what are people going to think of me? And if I fail, what are people going to say and shit like that?
Oh, bro, I can only imagine. Because, yeah, your story's always been crazy to me about, you know, professional rugby is like that's a gold mine for most dudes our age. Boys I grew up around, like they couldn't think of anything more that they wanted to be than that. And so for you to not want to do that and sort of carve out your own path, in any way that I can imagine how hard that would be. Because like for me, bro, imagine like telling all your mates you wanted to go do comedy. Like,
fuck yeah.
It's like, yeah. So I fully know that feeling, but it's the thing that I just had to say to myself was like, would I rather be comfortable with what people think of me and miserable with myself, or would I rather be embarrassed about what people think about me but like happy?
Yeah, that's the one.
And so like, yeah, when I started out I was super embarrassed about it, but I was happy. So I was like, fuck it, who cares? Who cares if I'm like embarrassed?
Fuck yeah.
And then eventually you get to the point where you're not embarrassed anymore because it just becomes a part of who you are. And then when it starts to be successful, then
everyone loves it.
Then everyone loves it. Yeah, so it's about as much of a mindfuck as it sounds.
Bro, have you ever had like a stand-up comedy where you've stood up and like no one's laughed or anything?
Bro, I get asked this all the time, and like,
fuck, that would be my worst nightmare, bro. If I got up and like to be a stand-up comedian in front of people and no one fucking laughed at my jokes.
That's 90% of shows.
Oh,
I'm not even shitting you. That's like 90% of them, because people don't understand that like when ironically as a stand-up comedian, like very few times are you doing a show where like you can just make people laugh, because what you have to do is you always have to be working out material. You always have to be changing your material. Like as soon as I put something up on like Instagram or something, I can't do that again, because you know people have already seen it, so you constantly have to like develop material and stuff. But bro, like when we develop material, I know just as well as you like how good it's gonna be. So like fucking I could write it down, it could be funny to me, but I could go do it to a bunch of people and they're like, this is the worst shit I've ever seen. And so it's a constant back and forth with that, bro. So genuinely I would say 90% of the shows there's like hardly anyone laughing, because it's all shit that you've never put out there. Bro, like I'll read you some of my, I've got like this whole folder on my phone of notes, and so I'll read you some of them. Whose dad is that? Someone send their dad home. Shout out Pat McPhee, piece of shit. Okay, well,
tagging us in stories, bro.
What are some ideas that I've got? Okay, so this is an example of an idea that I've got. Don't cancel me over this, okay? Like this was just an idea that I had for stand-up comedy.
What, potential use or?
This one is about men taking a contraceptive pill. So like, fair enough. Like a lot of women have obviously been complaining about like the side effects that come from taking like the pill, because it gives them depression and stuff. I don't mean to say it like that, but like basically the idea that I've got is like a lot of women are against having to take contraception because of their side effects, and they believe that men should take contraception instead and have to deal with the side effects. And so the joke that I'm writing is about how, well, yeah, I'd take it for the side effects. If one of the side effects is depression, I have to wear condoms and I still have it. So if taking it just means I get to take the condom off, then fucking all good. I'll stack the depression on top of the one that's already there. if it means I get to feel a little bit more. But yeah, anyways, that was just one of the ideas. Sorry, but this is the Hustlers podcast. Talk about business.
I don't fucking.
Sorry, Fano. But yeah, it's just kind of like shit like that. And so I just wrote that the other day. And so I could probably go up and do that in front of people and get like no laughs.
Bro, and it's tough too, because like you have to say shit that like a lot of the time your shit's real like whack, like, you know, like real fucking out there.
Yeah.
And like if you say something real out there and
exactly,
dudes
mate.
are like,
exactly.
Oh, fuck.
So bro,
yeah,
I'm sure you can imagine now how brutal
yeah.
it can be. It's like stand up is brutal. It's a hard business.
Have you learned a way to deal with it better? Like if someone doesn't laugh, like at the start, I'm sure you would have been like, fuck, like this feeling
bro.
or whatever.
Like honestly, where I am with stand up now is like I really am not phased off of the audience. Like usually what I do is I'll always just find a way to make the situation funny. So even if no one's laughing, I'll just start talking about how no one's laughing and stuff, and I'll start doing stuff that's like purposely not funny. So like I'll say jokes and start explaining them and stuff. And then, because like I'll say a joke and then no one will laugh, and I'll be like, okay, so clearly you guys didn't get it. So like what I mean by that is like, just over-explain. And then if someone goes, we get it, and I'm like, I don't think you do, and just like keep explaining it. Just like being a dick, just winding people up.
But that's time in the saddle too, eh? Like that's fucking, that's just like time doing it, and then you get to learn ways to get yourself out of things and stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. Like eventually, and it's with anything. It's the same with business. It's the same. Like it's where I'm at now. It's the things like rejection and like getting let down and like setbacks. It never ends. Like it's always going to end. Yeah. You're always going to be scared. The insecurity you feel now, you're always going to have. Yeah. It just gets bigger, but you get better at dealing with it. And so that's like what I feel now. Like I still get nervous on stage, and I still get gutted if I'm like really shit, if I have a bad night, but I'm just better at dealing with it.
Yeah, that's good, bro.
And I don't judge myself as much as I used to back when I was starting. Yeah. If I do have those setbacks. So that's kind of like the journey that I see for anything is, the feelings I have, I'm never invested in trying to get rid of them because it's never going to happen. Yeah. But just how to deal with them is what I focus on. And
you did that ages ago, that bounces one.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was crack.
Shot, bro. Fuck, you probably would have been in high school. That was 2018.
Yeah, nah.
Or 1 year out.
No, I was out by then, yeah. I was on those. Bro, like. Shot, what did you say to the fellow when you guys walk in? Do the voice, bro. Go, just do it once.
I honestly couldn't even, but I haven't done that character in so long, I actually can't even remember how to do it, which is bad because we're doing a show about it, but I actually can't even remember, but yeah, pretty much just the one that went, that everyone seemed to love was, Not Tonight, Brother.
Yeah.
Not tonight, brother.
Bro, and that's on, is it going on Comedy Central now?
Comedy Central UK, yeah. Right. Yeah, so we literally start pre-production for that next weekend, so I've got to have all the shit like my office moved in by then, just so you know. Obviously, everybody. Yeah. Has a. How does that work?
So, do they sign you on for something, like to have the series or something? They pay you a certain amount, and then you come up with the content, or?
Yeah. So New Zealand, we do shit in quite a weird way because nowhere like I'm pretty sure like maybe Aussie does it this way, but I know they don't do it as like definitively as we do. But pretty much how in New Zealand works when you're creating a show is, so in America the network will pay for the rights to your show, or they'll pay for the production of your show. Either the network or a production company will pay for that. Yeah. But in New Zealand the production companies aren't big enough. They don't make enough money to like foot the bills on like full productions.
Oh shit.
And so what everyone needs in New Zealand is New Zealand On Air, which I'm sure you've probably heard of them. Yeah. And pretty much what New Zealand On Air is they're a funding body they're a government agency. So the government give them money to give out to people who want to make all that shit. And so what you have to do to get a TV show in New Zealand is you basically get a production company on board with your idea, and then you get a network on board with your idea. Yeah. And then you go with them to New Zealand On Air and say, hey, all three of us have agreed to go into business together. Will you give us the money to make it? And then New Zealand On Air basically goes yes or no. Oh shit. And so that's what happened with Bouncers was I went in with my production company. We've gone in partnership with another production company. So it goes under my company, which will be the first TV show we've done.
Yeah, mean.
And then we went to Comedy Central, and they said yes to the idea. And then all three of us together went to NZ On Air.
Yeah.
And NZ On Air gave the money. So that's kind of how it works, really.
Would you want to get something on Netflix at some point or what?
Yeah, bro. That's always the goal, is to like get on a big. Yeah. So the plan, like the goal for Bouncers would be, and pretty much how the TV industry works is, once you get on a network, pretty much networks just buy and sell content from one another. So very rarely, like, and Netflix is pioneering that in this way, and that they're creating their own content for their platform, whereas usually networks will like pick up content from other platforms, like repackage it. Netflix has done that, so they've bought like, what's one series that they bought from like another platform is like the series called You. I think they bought from like another network in America.
Right. Yeah.
And so, but yeah, that's kind of how the TV industry works. But yeah, the goal was to just get it seen on, you know, Comedy Central UK, which is already a big platform, and then just get bought over by someone else.
Yeah.
Because that's where like all the real money is in television.
Yeah.
As you get your rights bought and sold and stuff like that.
Because Netflix would do that a lot, eh?
Yeah, bro.
I've seen heaps of shit that ends up popping up that wasn't like...
Yeah, and bro, they throw big money. Like, they'll buy, you know, the rights to a show for like 30, 40, 50 mil. Just like that.
Bro, I was just talking to my family last night, bro. We had a family dinner about how I went to America when I was like 13 or something. It was like a little holiday with my family, bro. And we stayed with one of my dad's best mates in America. Like, we stayed at his house. And they're like, we went there and they turned the TV on, and they just had Netflix, bro. And we were like, what's this? Because at this point, I don't think we had Netflix in New Zealand. We didn't have Netflix in New Zealand. And I was like, what's that? They're like, oh, it's just like a thing. You just like stream whatever shows you want and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, do you not have like live TV? And say, oh no, we just use Netflix. And we was like, fuck, that's weird.
Yeah.
But like now, bro, that's just what everyone uses.
Everyone has it.
Bro, you just turn your TV on, it's just on Netflix. Or
it's crazy.
You don't really watch like as much like Sky or shit anymore.
I felt old where like I just got a TV and I switched it on. There was already a Netflix thing there, and I was like, oh fuck, is that how it works? There's already a Netflix thing there, so it's crazy that it's just
Heaps of the remotes have the
button. Netflix button on it. Bro, it's
button.
It's crazy, eh? So yeah, bro, it's always been the dream.
But you're on a show now. Oh, well, you've been on one. Or, is it Treasure Island?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
What was that about?
Yeah, did Celebrity Treasure Island. We filmed that in March.
Whereabouts?
Up north.
Oh, yeah.
I actually couldn't even remember exactly where. But yeah, we filmed that. Was away for a certain amount of time. But bro, it was mean. It was actually an unreal experience.
Yeah.
Like, it was just cool because I remember watching the last season of it.
Yeah.
And thinking like, fuck, everyone here's washed up. And then now I'm here. I'm washed up. But yeah, bro, it was mean. It was mean. I think the coolest thing about this season is they got a few of us like who are a lot younger.
Yeah.
So like me, Teagues, Lance, Johnny.
Oh yeah.
So I think they
Bro, that'll be crack.
Yeah,
when does that come out?
Next month, I think.
Oh,
I don't know when in September, but at some point.
What's Treasure Island again? Like,
bro, pretty much you just live on this island and just do challenges and shit.
You build your own like
space or? Yeah, but like all that kind of shit. Bro, I lost. So the reason I put on weight again like now is because I came back from Treasure Island and I'd lost 20 kgs.
20?
Bro, so I came back just eating anything because I was like fucked. I lost 20 kgs while I was there. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm allowed. Yeah, no, I'm not allowed to say how long I was there. But yeah, I lost 20 kgs, bro.
20 kilos? Yeah. Must not have been that short amount of time.
Nah, it wasn't.
But then, like, now you just, obviously we already sort of talked about it a bit, but the West Park shit, like,
yeah.
How did you come about, like, finally getting the studio and?
Yeah, so
that's a big step, bro. Like,
Brian, it's definitely a risk. Like I think I think a lot of people like see people make like moves like that and they think they've like cracked it and got it sorted.
Yeah.
But like
yeah.
nah, a lot of it, most of those kinds of things are risks. Like it's a big risk.
For
like
sure, yeah.
there's still like I don't have a bunch of things set in stone by any means.
Yeah.
But it's like a thing that you kind of make a step to. Yeah, like the way I kind of look at it is like you've got to, in order to get the capacity for something that you want, you have to open yourself up to receive it.
Yeah.
And whereas a lot of people like they want to wait for it to come before they make the step, but the way I've always seen it is you kind of have to open yourself up to the risk, and then it comes after
that's
that.
good, bro.
So
You gotta
that's
take risks, so
yeah,
you
bro.
have to, especially in business, bro.
Hard out.
No, you just have to do it. And
Bro, you got to like it's. People probably get sick of hearing it, but like it really doesn't come without it. So, so that's what investing in the spaces and just trying to get all these projects sort of underway.
So did you get investors or did you just like front it?
But I just paid it out of my yeah, bro. Yeah, so
because that's not cheap setups, man.
It's not. That's not cheap,
places.
bro. It's not cheap. So, but the way I just say is like obviously just investing in like myself and backing myself.
Oh, bro.
Because the worst thing that can happen is, it all flops and I lose all my money, and have to
live in a box.
have to go start again. But I've already done it, bro, and I know I can do it. So my thing is, I'm not gonna let the fear of that happening like stop me.
That's
because
mean, bro.
I know if I do get there, I can just fucking do it again.
Like in everything, like vulnerability is like the biggest way of growth, and you just got to open yourself up to being vulnerable,
bro. And desperation, like really, really pushes you to
100%.
Like I'm sure you went like another level when you had your first kid. And you've got a partner now, like a whole family now. Like it really pushes you. Yeah. Not that you like need that per se, but it does like.
In some sense, you sort of not you do. For me, I do, bro. Because like we were just talking about how we're potentially moving up here. Yeah. And just around the Mount being a real easy lifestyle. We live on like a studio thing on the front of my parents' house, so we live in our own little thing out the front. It's easy, bro. Like life's just so easy, and it's just like you don't have the desperation or the like you move up to somewhere like Auckland and with all the opportunities and stuff comes the hard, like you have to be living away from your family, and you have to be paying rent for a house, and there's so much shit that comes with it. But like it puts you into that mindset, where you're just like, fuck, I've got to do it. Like I know it's to feed my family or to
it kicks you up the ass. And because the other thing as well was like the way I always looked at Auckland is, how like when you're running like a marathon, for me it was always a fun run. Like I would never do the half marathon. I'd do like the little 10K, you know what I mean? And I'd walk it. But you know how like when you start off and fucking it looks like everyone's boosting? Yeah. That's what I felt like Auckland was. Like I always felt like everyone's just like boosting in front of you, and you're like looking around like, oh fuck, am I the only one jogging? And I usually am. But that's what I felt like it was up here. You quickly learn.
True, that's that's a pretty good analogy of it, bro.
Thank you. But yeah, that was what I always felt like it was like. And I mean, you can be as independent as you want and as like, as to yourself as you want, but you eventually do just adjust to the environment you're in, and so it gets you eventually. You just got to figure it. I think the hard thing is just figuring out how to make sure it helps you, not hurts you.
Nice.
But that's what it's like.
Bro, I got a few questions here for you on the gram.
Oh, fuck yeah. My favourite place.
One asked, what car do you drive?
What car do I drive? Yeah. 2014 Toyota Prius, baby.
Sure.
The earth says you're welcome.
Well, how's your best friend Joe Sunshine?
Who the fuck is that? Oh my god.
And he actually said, don't tell him who asked. Are you gonna talk about it or not?
Hell no. Hell no. I hope he doesn't see this. But shout out Joey. Joey is actually my mate. I'm not telling that story.
Tell it, bro.
No, I cannot tell that story. I'll tell you after.
Okay, all right, when the camera's off. Your motivation. Just kind of talked about that, but
Yeah, motivation. My 5 kids. Hopefully meet them one day. But
what's your actual job? You seem to have many, but what would you call your profession?
fuck knows. I don't really like calling myself a comedian because like it's not like everything that I do and
You know
everything.
what's funny, bro, is when I like did the story up yesterday. I'm jumping on with Joey D. I think I said comedian, and I was like, it's kind of like weird now because I was like, fuck, it's not actually what he really is anymore. Like, I knew that you as that when I first met you, but then now I'm just like, fuck, that's only like a little piece of the pie.
Which I totally understand, bro, and I don't like. I definitely have no qualms like being identified as one. Like, it's what it's what people know me as, and like, and it's what I do for sure. But yeah, when it comes to like what I actually do, like it's just in that it doesn't like define it because I do heaps of other shit beyond it. But we could just say comedian and just fucking just be whatever anyone wants, really.
Depends what day of the week.
Depends how much you're paying.
Why did you cry at the mountain in 2014? That's the last one.
Cry at the mountain in 2014. Holy hell. Who are these people asking these questions? Fuck me. So the story on that is the Mount 2014 was the first time I'd like gotten real drunk.
Yeah.
So I was going there for like New Year's and that.
Yeah.
Just like we all did. And I remember just this one day I just started crying and I got my mates caught it on video. And fucking everyone's in here. I'm gonna fight this whole building soon.
I think you fucking put that curtain down.
Bro, is that the guy from the Hucker video? I think it is too.
Where?
No, I just saw do you remember that video? And it was they were having a wedding. Oh, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Who did the Hucker? Yeah.
Bro, I literally just watched it the other day.
I wasn't J'ing up, yeah.
He was
And
he was the groom, mate.
Yeah, he's the groom.
Oh, that's right. Hey.
Shout out the bro. Thanks for the invite to the wedding, bro. Loved it.
That was grass. That almost made me cry.
That got me good. That got me good. Bro, I cannot watch a Hucker video on YouTube, bro, because that's 3 hours gone.
Bro,
I start fucking watching 50 of them.
I saw something about you trying to reconnect with your Māori side or something, yeah?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm trying to get some funding, so got to do it. No, I'm kidding.
Was it with Tiao? No. Who are you talking to about that?
Probably. I think because I like... Get the fuck it.
Too many people in this place.
Bro, there's so many people here. This is brown Google.
Actually.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're getting there. What did
I just ask you?
Fuck knows.
Yeah, I can't remember. But, bro, thanks for jumping on, G.
Bro.
Appreciate your time, bros.
Appreciate your time, bro.
Busy man, bro. You probably got something to do. You probably don't know what the fuck it is, though.
Nah.
Maybe you should get Google Calendar, bro.
Bro, the thing is I have Google Calendar.
Oh,
and Mondays and a PA.
You might need...
And
I was just going to say you need a PA.
And I'm still unorganised.
Who's your PA, bro? I want to fire.
Shout out, Lily.
Yeah. Fuck's sakes.
I'm about to promote her. Nah, it's hard. So where I find it hard with having a PA is like, I don't like getting Lily to deal with like my mates because I don't like, because I don't want like my mates to have to like deal with a PA.
You just don't contact my PA.
Yeah, because that seems stink to me, and so the problem is like when I like with that is because I just want to like obviously deal with my mates.
Yeah,
Shit never gets done.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So like, yeah, I guess it's just a quick catch-22 for everybody. It's like, do you want to have to deal with my PA or do you want me? If you want me, you're gonna get me.
This is what you're gonna
but
get.
It's gonna be 3 weeks later than you want.
Bro, remember I asked you to come down and do a little thing at my collection
and
party.
And you know what I realized?
Yes, and then fucking.
And then like I realized I'd had shit that, bro, and that's what I mean. I think I told you then as well. I was like, bro, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I remember.
If I'm organising it, it's just not gonna get done.
Yeah, nah, it's all good, bro. I understand you. It's all good.
Yeah, I just got fucking. I think I had pumpkin patches opening that weekend, so I don't even know if that's a thing still.
Pumpkin patch.
You know pumpkin patch?
Yeah.
I just don't know, bro. There's a generation gap here, so.
Bro, biggest thing I remember about Pumpkin Patch was the little place they would have inside every pumpkin.
Yeah,
patch.
they have like a little house, eh?
Yeah, and you can just like play around and shit.
Yeah, I remember
Get
those.
TV in there.
And they have
hours
TVs
there,
in
bro.
it and stuff.
Hours, bro.
Shout out Pumpkin Patch. My mum would just leave me there and let them babysit me. Shout out Pumpkin Patch.
I better get you off because I got another man on. So
You're safe, bro.
thanks, bro. Appreciate your time, G. My man.
Can we reach out? Yeah. Appreciate you, brother. Woo, fuck, I'm hungry.